the work you did getting this ready to go, and appreciate all your work. And for those watching, get ready to witness the majesty and the power of Discovery as she lifts off one final time.
Orbiter access arm retracting. Orbiter test conductor John Craxton talking with Space Shuttle Commander Steve Lindsay.
And NTD CTLS, we've inserted a hold, and the clock will hold at T-minus 5 minutes. Copy, thank you.
T-minus 6 minutes, 50 seconds. Planning to hold at T-minus 5 minutes unless the range is clear.
Sir?
Can you give us an update on your return?
There's no changes to that, sir.
Copy, no change. JRPS OTC, start AT display recorders. Can work. PLT OTC perform APU pre-start.
PLT doesn't work.
RTC JRPS display recorders are running. Okay.
T-minus 6 minutes, 4 seconds and counting. Orbiter test conductor John Craxton gave pilot Eric Bowe the go to perform the auxiliary power unit pre-start procedure. The APUs provide pressure to the shuttle's 3 hydraulic systems that move the main engine nozzles and aero surfaces. T-minus 5 minutes, 40 seconds and counting. T-minus 5 minutes, 30 seconds and counting. T-minus 5 minutes, 4 seconds and counting.
Countdown clock is holding at T-minus 5 minutes due to manual request.
Countdown clock is holding here.
Here we'll troubleshoot our Eastern Range Central Command reporting system issue.
2 minutes and 48 seconds of hold time remain in today's launch window of Space Shuttle Discovery. Today's launch window expires in 2 minutes, 28 seconds.
And into the CTLS, we did get an indication that the range safety did throw their hold switch. That's affirmative.
All systems are go with the exception of the Eastern Range. And they continue to troubleshoot a problem with their Central Command system display. Two minutes remaining in the hold today. 2 minutes remaining in our launch window.
SRO NTD final recommendation, please.
Standby 1.
NASA Test Director Steve Payne checking with the Eastern Range on their status to pick up the count. We have 1 minute 30 seconds remaining in our window today.
Ops Manager on 212.
Go ahead.
I got verbal confirmation from the 45th Wing Commander. We are go, and we do not need SROs go, so I would like you to proceed.
Copy that. NTD, with that verification that the range will support today's launch, you need to press on. Pick up the clock on your mark.
Copy that. And SRO NTD, need to put this your hold switch to proceed position.
40 seconds remaining in our launch window. Range is go.
TLS, has the SRO hold been removed?
Negative, sir.
SRO NTD. NTD, I can remove the hold here at the 5,000.
SRO on 212.
So needed to put your hold switch in proceed position.
Hold fire on proceed.
CTLS, can you verify?
15 seconds remaining in our hold.
Copy. Contact on that. We'll pick up momentarily. CGLS, pick up the clock on your mark. CGLS, copy. 3, 2, 1, mark. T-minus 5 minutes.
T-minus 5 minutes and counting.
TLT, OTC, perform APU start.
TLT in work.
And CDR, OTC, reconfigure heaters.
Copy, in work.
T-minus 4 minutes, 41 seconds and counting.
Reconfig complete.
All systems are go and weather is green.
Flight, director entity. Flight entity.
NTD, Houston flight. I have 2 seconds of drain back hold remaining. 2 seconds.
OTC, TLT, 3 good APUs.
Copy that.
Pilot Eric Bowe reporting 3 good auxiliary power units.
SRO.
T-minus 4 minutes and counting.
CLS is go for purge sequence 4.
The final helium purge of the 3 main engines is underway in preparation for main engine start.
Go for 10 minutes of MT0, range status is go for launch, and what is your status?
We are go.
Copy.
Final test of the flight control surfaces is underway. This is a pre-programmed pattern of movements designed to verify the readiness of the flight control surfaces, the elevons, speed brakes, and rudder. Minus 3 minutes and 30 seconds and counting. Final aero surface checks are complete. Discovery's 3 main engines will be gimbaled through a pre-programmed series of maneuvers as a final test before launch. T-minus 3 minutes and counting. Final pressurization of the external tank's liquid oxygen tank is underway.
Go for EP, LO2, pressurization.
And we're completing purge of the shuttle main engines.
TLT, OTC, clear caution and warning memory. Verify no unexpected errors.
TLT in work. OTC, TLT, no unexpected errors.
The gaseous oxygen vent hood, or beanie cap, is slowly being retracted away from the top of the external tank.
Close and lock your visors and initiate O2 flow.
Copy, in work.
Orbiter test conductor John Craxton requesting pilot Eric Bowe clear the caution and warning memory system. T-minus 2 minutes and counting.
TLS is go for EP, LH2, pressurization.
Liquid hydrogen replenish on the external tank is being terminated as planned. T-minus 1 minute, 30 seconds and counting. All systems are go. About 90 seconds away from the launch of Space Shuttle Discovery on her final mission. T-minus 1 minute, 10 seconds and counting. The liquid hydrogen tank inside the external tank is now at the proper flight pressure. T-minus 1 minute and counting. The ground launch sequencer will verify that the 3 main engines are ready to start. The booster joint heaters are being deactivated at this time. T-minus 48 seconds and we're transferring to orbiter internal power. Discovery is now running on its 3 onboard fuel cells. Coming up on a go for auto sequence start at T-minus 31 seconds.
TLS is go for auto sequence start.
And we have a go for auto sequence start. Discovery's onboard computers have primary control of all the vehicle's critical functions. 20 seconds. The sound suppression water system
15.
has been activated, protecting Discovery and the launch pad from acoustical energy waves.
Go for main engine.
Go for main engine start. We have main engine start. 2, 1. Booster ignition and the final liftoff of Discovery. A tribute to the dedication, hard work, and pride of America's space shuttle team. The shuttle has cleared the tower.
Mission Control Houston, the space shuttle now rolling over onto its back for the 8.5-minute ride into orbit. Discovery now making one last reach for the stars. Throttling down as the orbiter passes through the area of maximum pressure, reducing the stress on the shuttle as it goes supersonic.
Discovery Houston, you are go at throttle up. Commander
Steve Lindsay acknowledging the call from Capcom Charlie Hobaugh as Discovery's 3 main engines throttle back up. Lindsay is joined on the flight deck by pilot Eric Bowe and mission specialist Al Drew and Nicole Stott. Mission specialist Mike Barrett and Steve Bowen. Discovery's 3 main engines are burning fuel at a rate that would drain an average swimming pool in about 25 seconds. The engines combined with the solid rocket boosters produce more than 7 million pounds of thrust. 1 minute, 50 seconds into the flight, we're standing by for separation of the twin solid rocket boosters. Discovery now traveling 2,695 miles an hour. Its altitude 24 miles. Downrange from the Kennedy Space Center 29 miles. Booster separation confirmed. Discovery's guidance is now converging as the shuttle's onboard computers fine-tune the flight. Two minutes, 25 seconds into the flight, Discovery traveling 3,189 miles an hour. Its altitude 37 miles. Downrange from the Kennedy Space Center 53 miles. Discovery now getting a boost into orbit from its twin orbital maneuvering system engines on either side of the shuttle's tail. These 2 engines will burn for 2 minutes and 32 seconds.
Your 2-engine TAL, we do have updates to your no-com mode boundaries, and we did launch late into Pane 1, our only pane. The contingency aboard boundaries we'll use are in-plane plus 230. Let me know when you're ready to copy the new Presta ATO and Presta MECO.
Okay, copy all. 2-engine TAL and ready to copy.
Pinto, your Presta ATO 11.9. Presta MECO 15.4.
11.9 and 15.4.
That's a good read back on both.
Discovery can now make it to emergency landing sites in Europe should one of the engines fail, but all 3 engines continue to perform as expected. Capcom Charlie Hobaugh updating the crew there with some updated time information due to the later than planned launch. 3 minutes and 50 seconds into the flight, the shuttle traveling 4,700 miles an hour.
Discovery, you are negative return.
Negative return.
Discovery now traveling too high and too fast to return to the Kennedy Space Center in the event of an engine failure. But all 3 main engines continue to function as expected. The shuttle now traveling 5,200 miles an hour. Its altitude 62 miles, downrange from the Kennedy Space Center 170 miles. 4 minutes, 45 seconds into the flight, Discovery traveling 6,200 miles an hour. Its altitude 66 miles. Downrange from KSC 229 miles. Here inside Mission Control, Flight Director Richard Jones and his team continue to monitor the progress of Discovery's flight. All systems are continuing to perform as expected.
Discovery, you are pressed to ATO.
Press ATO.
That call from Capcom Charlie Hoba indicating that Discovery has enough energy to make it to a lower than planned orbit should one engine fail at this point. However, all three engines continue to burn as expected.
Discovery, you are single engine ops 3.
Single engine ops 3.
Discovery's engines are now swiveling to roll the shuttle to a heads-up position to get better communication with NASA's tracking satellites.
Discovery, your single engine Zaragoza 104.
Single engine Zaragoza 104.
Discovery can now make it to emergency landing sites in Europe should two engines fail at this point, but the flight continues to go well. 6 minutes, 24 seconds into the flight, the shuttle traveling 9,800 miles an hour. Its altitude 67 miles, downrange from the Kennedy Space Center 447 miles.
Miko, Bimper U nominal shutdown on all three, and Pinto, you'll be go for the plus X and go for the pitch.
Press to Miko, nominal shutdown, go for the plus X, go for the pitch.
Good readback.
That call from Capcom Charlie Hoba indicating that Commander Steve Lindsay has to go to press to main engine cutoff as expected in about a minute and a half.
Discovery, you are single engine press.
Single engine press.
Seven minutes, 15 seconds into Discovery's flight. The shuttle traveling 12,700 miles an hour. Its altitude 66 miles. Downrange from the Kennedy Space Center 615 miles. Discovery's engines now throttling back to keep the forces on the crew and the shuttle to 3 times that of gravity. The shuttle traveling 14,000 miles an hour. Less than 30 seconds to go in Discovery's powered flight. We're coming up on main engine cutoff. Main engine cutoff confirmed. Space Shuttle Discovery now in space. External tank separation confirmed. Commander Steve Lindsay will steer the shuttle up to the forward portion of the external tank so that the umbilical well camera can capture some images of it.
Discovery, we saw nominal MECO, OMS 1 not required, preliminary TIG for OMS 2 3730. Welcome to you and your veteran crew back to space.
Copy, no OMS 1 required, 3730 preliminary TIG, and thanks a lot. Good to be here.
Good deal, Pinto. We'll meet you in the post-OMS 1 tab.
That's where we're headed.
As we take a live look inside the shuttle flight control room here at the Johnson Space Center, we want to welcome you to NASA Television's live coverage of Discovery's final flight. We will have round-the-clock coverage throughout the entire mission, and of course you can always follow along on the NASA website at nasa.gov. At this point in Discovery's flight, Mike Barrett and Al Drew are in the process of unstrapping themselves to climb up to the windows of the flight deck.
So Space Shuttle Discovery successfully launched into space, making its final flight. It will head to the International Space Station, a crew of 6 on board, as well as a load of supplies. This is the 39th flight for Discovery, logging 143 million miles in its history, and 4.5 million more on this flight. After Discovery, NASA has 2 additional shuttle launches on the schedule before retiring the fleet. The shuttle Endeavour is scheduled for April.